I have spent over $1.5 million on Facebook ads. Now, my 6x2 method to create paid ads at scale is this. What we're doing at the moment, we're about to turn the money printer on. If you're an online trainer looking to scale your business, you're going to want to watch this, because one of the lies that you hear every single day is if you have a big following, you make a lot of money. And I was actually very interested to find out recently, someone who's very famous, has millions of followers on Instagram, YouTube, doesn't make that much money. And that really warped my perception of everything. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is how you can scale with paid ads, because organic content is a job. And one of the easiest ways to really blow up your business is paid traffic. And to get over 50K, 75K, and certainly over 100K a month, you're going to need some form of paid advertising to really do that. I have spent over $1.5 million on Facebook ads, specifically for my fitness business. Today, I'm going to tell you what I've learned, mistakes I've made, and what you should do going forwards. Now, firstly, I have made a lot of mistakes with this. Now, the best way to work out if something is a good idea is this. That's not my new method. Is firstly, has anyone I know pulled off this strategy someone's telling me to do? If the answer is no, why the fuck are you going to do it? So all I'm looking for is home run strategies. Do I know someone else who's done this, who's crushed it? Cool, I know loads of other people, this works. Or am I going to try and run a really complicated YouTube ad to a VSL, to a webinar, to a call booking link to then try and sign them up? Probably not. Generally, the simpler you try and keep things in terms of paid advertising, the better the results. So the best type of paid ads I personally have found work very well are running direct messenger ads. So direct in your inbox, because the easiest way to have a sale is to have a conversation, then get someone onto a call to have a proper conversation. So with cold traffic and paid ads, you can warm people up on the Instagram inbox, Facebook inbox, wherever you want. Now, the beautiful thing with this, when you go into paid traffic, it's fucking infinitely scalable. And even with 7-figure scaling systems, what we're doing at the moment, we're about to turn the money printer on, because we are actually doing outbound phone sales. We're doing about 2,000 phone calls a day. You may well have been called if you're watching this video. And what happens is we're running ads that pull people into a system called close.io. We then call them up, being like, hey, we're charging us for fitness, charging us for 7-figure scaling systems, talk about what we do, how can we help them, and then basically try and book them in for a sales call. Now, that's very much a volume game. But we're at the point now that, looking at last month's figures, we're at like 7-8x contracted after the first month, which basically means we can scale this to the moon. And I've already broken into the business a little bit, trying to hit with my volume hammer, which is a bad tendency. But this is the beauty of paid traffic. When you get the system to work, and I call this the optimal selling system, you can scale your business indefinitely. Now, some very easy strategies you can use to make your paid ads to work. Number one, you want to do open targeting for advertising. What do I mean by that? Target super broad. So like country, age, male, female. So like United States, maybe 28 to 45, male. That's it. Let it run. Because what most people don't realize is that with paid advertising and Facebook ads, the AI is so fucking good right now that they actually take your ad and the specific creative, the copy, the video, the words, everything, it reads it and sends it to the right person for you. You don't need to do the fucking targeting. It's like auto targeting. So what that then leads into is what I actually filmed before this, which is you need to film a lot of paid adverts with different hooks, different creatives, and test. Now, what I'm going to do is going to share with you my 6x2 method. Now, my 6x2 method to create paid ads at scale is this. What you do, you write down 6 hooks that are fucking killer. So like, I'm looking for, are you an online trainer struggling to make money? Would be an example of a hook, right? Or are you a dad over 35 struggling to lose weight? Are you looking to get in the best shape of your life in 2024? Whatever it might be. That would be a variation of hook. So you do 6 different hooks you film. Then what you do is you film 2 bodies. The 2 bodies would be like, we are going to use our metabolic priming diet to get in the best shape ever, blah, 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 whatever the rest of the advert's going to be. So you do 2 different variations of that. And then what you do is you put those 6 hooks with each variation of the body. That gives you 12 different paid ads you can test. So this is the basic testing model we use for paid adverts that allows you to test multiple different creatives and hooks. And that's allowed us to take our lead cost down from £10 a lead to £1 per lead, which is fucking wild. And that's literally, we're at the point where we can scale pretty much indefinitely by using these strategies. And we've broken other parts of our business because there's so much volume, which we're now fixing. But this is the beauty of paid ads. So that's the 6x2 technique in terms of paid advertising that I'd highly recommend you use. And the best placements I find are generally the reels and stories, because that's when most people are engaged and most people likely to message. So when you start to push the paid ads, what I would do in terms of testing budgets, we generally recommend you need to test between 10 to 20 pounds a day per ad. Within a week or so, you should know in terms of the returns. In terms of fitness ads, I would look for a cost per message needs to generally be under 10 pounds, would be an important thing. The problem with fitness versus a B2B business, depending on your price point, is that the cost of the program isn't super high in terms of like 10, 12K or lifetime value super high. So you can't necessarily spend so much as maybe we can for something like the mastermind. Now, the second vehicle where we're going into paid adverts where we're crushing it is actually LinkedIn ads. So we're running LinkedIn ads to basically opt-ins, where we're basically phone dialing them and then booking them in for sales calls. So on these calls, we're basically selling 3 to 5K programs. It's costing us about £400 to £500 to get someone on a call, but it's still infinitely profitable. And the beauty of it is we're getting on with the right people. Now, if you're in a position right now, your business is making less than 15 to 20K a month, this is definitely fucking not for you. And I'll explain why. You want to deal with all the low-hanging fruit, take all that stuff first to make your business really pop and grow. Because guess what? Paid ads work when you're really fucking good at closing your sales and your sales systems are good. If you can't sell and you can't close, nothing fucking works. So you need to have a really strong sales team. You have to have really strong sales yourself. You have to have really strong processes in that department like we do. Otherwise, nothing will work. So the most important thing you can do before you do paid adverts is you need to crush it in terms of organic in the foundational areas, have those processes super tight, because it's harder to sell paid cold traffic than it is warm. Now, the last tip I'm going to leave you with is this. If you're selling cold traffic and you're selling higher price points, say it's 3 to 5K programs, I would do this if you're struggling to close them. And let's do a 2-part close. So I would do call 1, where you initially have a bit of a discovery phase. You ask them some questions in terms about where they are. You highlight the pain points, and then you basically dictate the solution. What you then do is you book in a call in 2 days' time to basically be like, okay, what I want to do is map through some specific things with you, which will be applicable through, and I can map some stuff out. Basically book them in for a second call where you're going to go through it in more detail. Now, the kicker is between the 2 calls, what you want to do is send them some long form content. So we send stuff like our podcast to people where we add a lot of value. They hear people saying how great our program is, blah, 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 blah. They get more of a feel for us. Now, what happens there, the cold prospect on the first call, by the time you get to the second call, it's no longer a cold prospect, they're warm. They've got more of a know, like, and trust for you. You've been through some of your content. You've spoken to them before. So they're highly likely to then be at the point where they trust you way, way more. So this is a strategy I'd recommend you implement if you're in a position you're struggling to convert cold traffic. Try the 2 cold technique only if you're doing higher prices. Don't be running paid traffic if you're only selling £250 a month programs, £200 a month programs. This is a waste of fucking time. You need to do paid in fulls, you need to do bigger price programs, and that's how you scale your business. If you want to know more about how we can scale your business with paid advertising, having personally spent over $1.5 million in Facebook ads, I can make some more training content on this. But the last thing I'm going to leave you with this is the big mistake most people make. Don't hire and delegate something you don't understand. So I went on a Facebook ads mastermind and mentorship for 18 months where I had to go to Glasgow every 3 months. No offense, but anyone from Glasgow, Glasgow's fucking shit. It's probably the most depressing place in the UK. It's super grey. But the reality is that I learned all the hard skills of how to run Facebook ads, how to get the creative to work, how the system works, what do the numbers look like. Because if you hire someone to run your ads, and there's a lot of charlatans out there, you're going to end up in a position where they're trying to talk to you about CTR, CPC, frequency scores, and I'll be like, what the fuck are they talking about? I have no idea. So you can't manage people who you hire as contractors if you don't actually understand the game. Now, one of the things we do within 7-figure scaling systems, we're not an ads agency, but we spend 40, 50K a month on ads, more sometimes. What we can do is we actually help you set up your ads and give you guidance on how to run them. And if that's something you're interested in, hit the link below this podcast and you book in a free call to find out how we can help you. Feel free to drop me a message on Instagram at Charlie Johnson Fitness. If this episode was helpful, make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend, and we'll see you next episode soon.